Ghost Boys Top 5 Best 4th of July Horror Movies. Number 5. The Strangers Prey at Night. Outside of the Scream franchise, this is my all-time favorite slasher movie. I absolutely hate the first Strangers film and never understood the hype, but this film fixed every single problem I had with the original. It's fun, fast-paced, has likable characters, an eerie yet fun setting and location, great kills, and of course, the iconic pool scene alone is enough to include this in your 4th of July marathon. It also has one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. Number 4. The Purge Election Year. I'll be the first to admit I am not a huge fan of the Purge franchise as a whole. It has a really cool, unique concept, but never seems to fully take advantage of it. That being said, though, The Purge Election Year is probably the best film within the franchise, and finally decides to have a little fun with the concept. There's one specific scene that I love in this film, featuring a cover of Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. And again, that scene alone is worth checking out this film. Number 3. Final Destination 3. Everybody loves Final Destination, and if you ask anybody which is the best film in the franchise, the answer is more than likely to be Part 3, featuring some of the best and most creative kills in the franchise. Plus, the lead character is played by Scream Queen Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The entire opening of this film at the amusement park is a blast, and definitely has scarred me enough to never get on another roller coaster in my life. The climax of the film takes place on the 4th of July, and has some very explosive kills, appropriately themed for the holiday. Number 2. Stranger Things Season 3. This is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best season of Stranger Things. At the time, it was the darkest season, yet at the same time, the funniest season. The tone was the perfect balance of adventurous and humorous, as well as disturbing and violent. I think the show probably should have ended here, but that's a conversation for another time. The whole season takes place during summer and around the 4th of July, so it features festivals, fun houses, and fireworks. But I know everybody's gonna say, this is actually a TV series and not a movie, so it doesn't count. So, because of that, I'm going to throw in some honorable mentions before I get to the number 1 movie on my list. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. You can't really get more American than incestuous hillbilly cannibals and barbecue. This also has the fun setting of the abandoned amusement park. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This film has the reoccurring theme of the insufferable summertime heat, plus that badass pool party massacre scene. Friday the 13th. Honestly, half of the Friday the 13th films could be considered 4th of July or summertime horror movies, so honestly take your own pick. But for me, I'd say either the 2009 remake or Friday the 13th Part 2. It Chapter 2. Both It Chapter 1 and 2 are iconic summertime movies.
If you say it's summer one more fucking time.
But I choose Part 2 particularly because of the Derry Canal Days Festival, which also features fun houses, carnival rides, and of course, our friendly neighborhood killer clown, Pennywise. Although I will admit this movie is a bit too depressing for me to watch on a fun summer day. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I actually wasn't a huge fan of this film. I found all the characters annoying as hell and very unlikable. But I am a sucker for any movie involving a big storm and the characters being confined to a single location. I'm also a sucker for murder mysteries. Plus, the opening of this movie featuring the group of friends hanging outside in the pool before the hurricane hits definitely gave me some big summertime vibes. And lastly, before I get to the number 1 movie on my list, I want to talk about The Babysitter. Yes, I'm including this film on my list, even though everybody I asked about it told me it wasn't summery enough. But you know what? We get that super hot scene of Samara Weaving in a red bikini going swimming, and later on in the film, somebody gets killed with fireworks. So to me, that is enough to call this a 4th of July film. Also, the sequel to this movie, The Babysitter Killer Queen, is arguably even a better choice for the 4th of July. But I didn't include it since I already talked about that film on a previous list of mine. But enough with the honorable mentions, let's get down to it with the number one best 4th of July horror movie on my list. And that is I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. Now, first off, I want to say, don't worry, I fully acknowledge that the original and the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, is a better movie than this one. But I was very pleasantly surprised by the 2025 film, and it's surely a hell of a lot better than the atrocity that is I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I decided to make this film number one because I feel like every 4th of July horror movie list is going to include the original, and I want it to be different. But more so than that, I feel like this movie gets a lot of hate, and I truly don't understand it. I don't know how people could enjoy the modern Scream movies, but say that this is a horrible film. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's definitely two things that I'm still iffy about. But overall, I thought this film was amazing. It did something new and different, while still sticking to the familiar original premise of the classic slasher film. It also brings back legacy characters, yet introduces likable new final girls. It has some bloody badass kills, great cinematography, twist after twist, and of course, some of the best beachy 4th of July atmosphere you could ever ask for. So this holiday, if you don't want your 4th of July to be a bummer, chill inside and watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. Well, that's the end of my list, bitches. If you don't like it, go swim with the fishes. But until next time, I'm Ghost Boy, wishing you a happy 4th of July. And be careful with those fireworks or you just might die.